Hey guys, it's Shelby from Big Cat Creative, and in this video, we're talking about how you can turn your blog readers into email subscribers, leads, and customers. If you're writing blog posts for your business, then you probably already know just how great they are for getting people onto your website. I mean, free and helpful content, who wouldn't want to stop by? Blogs are fantastic for SEO, site traffic, and building trust with your growing audience. But traffic alone doesn't equal sales. And that's why it's important to focus on guiding your blog readers somewhere more lucrative for you. Whether that's joining your email list, reading additional posts, browsing your products, or booking a service, you need to give people something more to commit to. And the good news is that there are a handful of techniques that you can implement within your blog posts that will encourage readers to stick around and maybe even make a purchase. And that's exactly what we'll be discussing in this video. So if you're ready to make some serious conversions, keep watching. First things first, let's talk about what you need to be doing before you even write your blog post. Success starts at the very beginning. That's why before you even write, you should be taking some time to consider your readers' search intent. I'm talking, what are they Googling and what are they actually looking for? You see, not every single topic is going to require the same blog structure. So putting yourself in the reader's shoes for a moment can help you figure out what's going to be the most helpful for them. Are they looking for a step-by-step tutorial, a comparison guide, a practical checklist, creative inspiration, or just a straightforward solution? Once you have an answer to that, you can then format your blog post to match the intent. Plus, having this information also allows you to naturally connect the advice you're providing with products, services, or freebies that you offer. It all comes back around full circle, but you do have to know the best way to serve the reader in order to get them invested. Next, let's talk about utilizing email opt-ins in your blog posts. Honestly, one of the most important things to have in every single blog that you post is a form where readers can sign up to your email list. You've already attracted people to your website, which is arguably the hardest part, and now you need to get them to join your community. This really is the ultimate goal. Once someone is on your email list, you then have their permission to show up in their inbox, and that is way more personal than reading a blog post. Plus, the conversion rates for email lists are crazy high. Now, this form can be a simple newsletter sign up, a freebie opt-in, access to a sale, or really anything else that is going to work to collect those email addresses. It's also particularly helpful to include email opt-ins in your blog posts because you know that those viewers are already invested in a topic that you specialize in. Ultimately, you don't just want to grow your email list for the sake of having a lot of subscribers. You want to get the right people on your list. You want to grow a community of your people, those who are actually interested in what you offer and motivated to take the next step. So if someone is subscribing through a blog post, then you can feel really confident that you've already piqued their interest and that they're a solid potential customer, client, or student. Now, when it comes to adding opt-ins into your blog posts, you always want to include at least one sign-up form, but if your post is really long, we recommend definitely adding multiple forms. You can add a couple throughout, or you can add one near the top, middle, and bottom of your post. This way, there's more opportunities for readers to sign up, and your one form isn't going to get lost in the bulk of the post. For example, here on this blog post, we have one main opt-in within the blog post, and then we also have this opt-in over here in our sidebar. You also want to make sure that your opt-in is relevant to the blog topic. If you're going to provide a freebie or some other offer, you want it to make sense within the scope of what you're discussing. Now, this doesn't mean that you need to create a new offer for every single post that you write, but you should be aware of the relevance. And if you don't feel like you currently have something that's going to work, don't just throw in a random offer. Instead, stick with a simple newsletter sign up. And to make your life even easier when it comes to email opt-ins and freebie offers, we offer freebie add-on page templates that help make it so easy to launch a beautiful and high-converting opt-in page in just minutes. We have a freebie add-on page to match each one of our premium Squarespace templates, so not only will you be raking in the subscribers, but your freebie is going to feel like an intentional part of your brand right out the gate. And as always, you can view all of our premium Squarespace templates and the add-on pages that go along with each of them in the description below this video. Next, let's discuss integrating related posts and internal links to your blog posts. This technique is something that can really easily be overlooked, but it's highly effective and shouldn't be slept on. Here's how it works. Utilizing related posts and internal links throughout your blog keeps people on your website. The longer people stay on your site, the more they'll learn from and about you, which leads to trust and motivation. Trust and motivation lead to sales. And voila, you have just converted a random reader into a customer customer simply by providing them with additional content to browse. Plus, internal links also help to guide search engine crawlers through your website, establish content relationships, and add to the overall user experience, which are all excellent for SEO. So in the long run, these tools will also contribute to helping new users find you in Google. So what's the best way to actually use related posts and internal links? The first and easiest thing to do is to link related blog posts throughout your post by using text links. If you've previously written a post about something that you briefly touch on, call attention to that by directly linking to that other post via text. You can do this by saying something like related post and then offering the link. We like to add a little finger pointing emoji and then add the link to the related blog post. Or you can simply just link text within a paragraph. We do both of these things very often throughout all of our blog posts, so the next time you're reading a post on our website, be sure to keep an eye out. You can also link to relevant products, templates, freebies, or resources, and link out to these things via text links or throw in a couple of buttons or image links if that makes sense. Adding direct links to product or freebie pages is helpful because the reader is already going to be consumed by the topic they're reading about, which might make them more likely to take immediate action. You can see here that we have an example of one of our templates, and immediately below that image, we add a link for people to check out that template if it's something that they're interested in. They don't even have to leave the blog post to go searching for this. They can just conveniently click over using the link. And then finally, you want to add a related reading section wherever it's most helpful. We love to add sections like this to the very bottom of the post so that the reader can go straight into more information without needing to search for it. You can see here at the very bottom of this blog post, we have a section where we say, want more website tips? And then we include a bunch of really helpful links. And another great place to add a related post section is in your sidebar if that's something that you have on your website. Really, no matter how you choose to add your related posts and internal links, you just want to make sure that you're actually using them. If someone is taking the time to read through your blog post, then they're clearly serious about learning, and that is the ideal time to offer them more. And speaking of motivated potential customers, let's talk about adding clear calls to action for the reader. You always want to make sure that your goal for the reader is made loud and clear through calls to action, or CTAs. Yes, it is super important in general to add those internal links and give people a chance to sign up for your email list. But each blog that you post should ultimately have one clear next step so that the reader feels guided. Take a little bit of time before you write your post and before you publish to get clear on what you want the reader to do. You don't want to leave them at a dead end. So is it most important for them to join your email list, take your free course, browse your products or services, read another post, or book a consultation call? Once you know the answer to that, make sure that your CTAs are simple and obvious. And please don't wait until the very end of the post to add your CTAs. Sprinkle them throughout the main copy of your blog post as well. This obviously is going to create more opportunities for clicks, but it also helps to make your CTAs feel a little bit more naturally integrated. And finally, let's talk about how you can make your blog posts easily shareable via Pinterest and social media. As important as it is to create interest within your actual blog post, it's also important to create content worth sharing so that your potential viewership can grow. There's really no point in asking people to sign up for your email list if there's no one reading the post in the first place. And the great thing is that once your content is ready to publish, there are some really helpful and free ways to get the word out, aka social media. We all know how important social media is these days for marketing, and if you're not already using one particular platform, I'm talking about Pinterest, to promote your blog, you definitely should be. Not only is Pinterest super effective for reaching new viewers, but it's also really easy to create shareable content for your blog posts. Even creating and pinning just one unique graphic rather than pinning a random image within your post can help your content perform better. So really what I'm saying is there's no reason not to take advantage of this technique. We love creating a vertical Pinterest graphic like some of the ones that you see here and adding it at the end of our blog post so that readers can directly pin the image if they loved the post. And you can make this really easy for people by adding the pin it graphic on top of the image so that people can just automatically pin the post with one click. And this is something that Squarespace makes really easy to do. And then, of course, we also pin that post to our business account as well. So if you're going to follow suit and do the same thing, there are some best practices that you should keep in mind. First, you're going to want to use clear, keyword-friendly titles on your graphic. Don't try and be too fancy here, just say it like it is. For example, on this graphic, why every business needs an email list. Plain and simple. You know exactly what you're going to get if you click on this pin. In some of our other examples, you can see the best online platforms to sell digital products, or how to use a website template if you already have a Squarespace site. Really clear titles that can't be confused or interpreted weirdly. Next, you'll want to make your graphic visually consistent with your brand. You want anyone coming across your graphic on Pinterest to immediately get a sense of your brand vibe. It's really clear off of a first glance that all of these posts come from the same business. Sure, we switch up the colors and the fonts every once in a while, but ultimately it all fits with under our same brand aesthetic. Don't be misleading to people by creating a totally random graphic and throwing it into the mix. Another tip is that if Pinterest is a huge traffic source for you already, you'll definitely want to be creating more than one pinnable graphic per blog post, and then pin that post multiple times so that you're maximizing your reach. It's so easy to create a graphic. It only takes a couple of extra minutes to create a few more, so you might as well get the word out there as much as possible. And finally, you can also add alt text and image titles or descriptions to your Pinterest graphics in order to take advantage of SEO and searchability. And you also don't need to stop at Pinterest. You can also repurpose blog content for other social media platforms. You can create postable content based on your blog posts for Instagram posts and Reels, TikTok, and even your email newsletter. We even offer gorgeous social media templates to make your life that much easier when it comes to sharing. Our pre-designed templates allow you to quickly create social content to promote to your blog posts and are customizable through Canva, so you can always remain brand cohesive. We have graphic packs that match each one of our premium Squarespace template aesthetics, but of course you can always customize them to match your own. And if you want to take a little bit of a deeper look into these social media templates, you can click the link that's in the description below this video. And when it comes to sharing your blog content, Squarespace also offers some really great tools to help make sharing simpler than ever. They offer tools like connected accounts so that you can directly share your blog posts with the click of a button. You can push your blog out to Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and other platforms. You can add a unique social image to each blog post, which allows you to curate how the public is going to see your content when it gets shared. And they also offer really easy to share URLs. Most notably, Squarespace allows you to customize your URLs so that they're really optimized for easy sharing. Not only are you able to change the URL to whatever you'd like, P.S. people hate sharing links with massively long URLs, so this is a great opportunity to shorten those up and make them really concise and easy to follow. But you can also add tracking information to your URLs if you want to collect share and click analytics for your post. And if that's not enough, you can also integrate third-party platforms through code blocks if you want to outsource sharing tools or expand your methods. All right, so now that you know all of the best techniques for turning your blog post readers into engaged and loyal community members, let's talk quickly about effective execution. Not only do you want to make sure that you're following the tips in this video each time you post a new blog, but you also want to ensure that you're structuring your posts in a way that's efficient and compelling. Unfortunately, you can't just casually throw some techniques into a quickly written essay and expect to see amazing results. But don't worry, I know that consuming all of this information can feel a bit overwhelming at first. And that's why we've put together a really handy checklist that you can use each time you go to write and publish a new blog. You can use this checklist to make sure that your post is set up to convert, that you've hit all of the most crucial CTAs, and that you feel confident that you're on the right track. We've added this checklist into the blog post that goes along with this video. So if you want to take a look and use that checklist for yourself, go ahead and click the link to the blog post in the description below this video. And there you have it. Those are all of the most important tips and techniques you need for turning blog readers into email subscribers, leads, and customers. Remain consistent with utilizing these techniques, and I promise you'll be rolling in the conversions in no time. I hope you loved this video. If you're looking for more content like it, be sure to follow along and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We post new videos every single week, and I'll see you in the next one.